Yo, what's going on, guys? It's CoJoMo here, back with another video. Today we're going to talk about 3 things that pros will never do inside of Counter-Strike 2, and these are things that you may be doing inside of your game. So by the end of this video, you are going to have a new, fresh understanding of how you should be playing Counter-Strike and 3 mistakes to 100% avoid. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first tip I have here of one thing that a pro is not doing is they are never leaving spawn without an idea of what they're doing, right? So when they're here in freeze time, that 15-16 second period where they have to develop an idea, think of what to do, they are never sitting in spawn just not knowing what they're going to do in the round, right? You know, and there might be confusion, there might not be like a clear picture, but they're always thinking to themselves, okay, what am I buying? So I'm gonna buy, you know, a Tech 9 this round because we got low money, we don't have enough for an AK. I'm gonna get half armor because, you know, I could get headshot, but it's just the risk I'm gonna take. And then they're also like, okay, what utility am I gonna use? Them by smoke grenade and flashes, right? And then when they get out of spawn and they know what they're doing, it makes it so that they have a much higher success chance or success rate in every situation they face, right? You might be on eco round, but you're going to have a higher percent success rate if you actually have a plan and idea of what to do, right? I'm not saying you're going to win every time you have a Glock and one flash, but you're going to get more kills. You're going to be able to snowball it because you're like, hey guys, I'm going to flash you into con. I need 4 people through underpass and start scaling on this guy. And then you guys ape this guy down, boom, get the kill and do that versus, you know, being here in spawn, the time expires and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna buy this, and all right, I forced up a Galil. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna float around here, right? And it's just very non-optimized, and you're not gonna be setting yourself up for success. So always be hyperactive and have an idea of what you're going to be able to do, because when that happens, you can create some beautiful moments and some really cool Counter-Strike. But if you're interested in some really beautiful Counter-Strike 2 skins, I have a message for the sponsor of today's video. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code CoJo. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description. Okay guys, the next thing that pros will never ever do inside of this game is keep playing the same spot when it's failing, right? In a specific game, if they are struggling from one position and they're just getting read like a book, or the other team is playing very well to where they're playing, they are never going to continue to play that spot, right? I will use an extreme example here of like, you know, something that would never happen, but you know, you never know, right? Say, you know, you're on CT side and you want to play this spot right here, firebox. You just want to sit here the whole round and hold palace while maybe you have a guy like spotting CT. That's cool and all, right? But say you're playing a team that will come out ramp here and molly off firebox every single, and I nades, am I right? They'll molly off firebox every single round. There we go. Say they throw that molly. A pro is going to adjust to that. A pro is going to be like, okay, this team is specifically throwing this molly. I can't play in this position this game, right? And they'll make 200 IQ moves to adjust off that, right? Instead of playing firebox there, they might play an off angle right here. They might play close ramp because they know the guy's gonna run out with a molly. They're thinking of ideas in order to adjust on what's happening, right? Like I said, that's an extremely niche idea, but I'll give you a real example because this is something I face every single Mirage game I play. As a CT, I'm the operator and I want to play window. This is where I want to be, right? But a lot of teams are going to smoke window. Okay, no problem. I'm just going to throw this little Monacy nade, you know, and peek out here like this, get that kill, right? But I'll run into league matches or even pugs where they're throwing the window smoke and the good top mid smoke. So, you know, now I'm just getting util dumped in middle. So I need to find impact somewhere else on the map and maybe let my riflers be a little more aggressive with all these smokes up and everything. They can throw their con lurk smoke. And I need to adjust, right? I'm never gonna sit there in a game and be like, oh guys, they're smoking me window and top mid. I'm just gonna wait the smoke out because I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? Pros are always going to adjust to the situation in front of them, and they're not just gonna sit in one place and accept that they're just useless this game. You can be useful every single game you play, and if they're countering you, it's fine because you can just adjust, right? You can always make adjustments to what people are doing, and you got to realize that the players you're facing inside your games, especially if you're playing in pugs and matchmaking, are not as smart as you make them out to be, right? Just because you get mollied off your firebox one round doesn't mean you need to be, like, start crying and be like, dude, this game sucks, like, they're so good, how do they know I'm here? Okay, just adjust, right? Like, you got mollied out, start playing somewhere else and, you know, farm them. And at the end of the day, I know it sounds like very obvious and simple, but I fall for the same trap. I'm getting util dumped in mid window and, you know, I can't find any impact in mid, and I'm like, oh bro, they're making me work for it. I wanted to just sit window, throw my nades, and, you know, sit here and farm them, right, without util. Okay, cool, they're throwing util. We got to be able to counter it then, right? We got to be able to throw our own util to adjust for it. We got to be able to set up teammates with util. So always just having that idea and flying around is vital to your success. Also, guys, vital to my success is if you hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me as we move into the third thing that pros will never ever do. So guys, if pros can help it, if they don't just get picked at the beginning of the round, they are always going to use their utility before they die. Now, at a low level, I see this mistake being made 24/7. Like, pretty much every single game you watch, this mistake is being made by one player, if not the whole server. What is that? They are going to sit here and, you know, have the opportunity to use their util before they die, but they refuse. Say there's a guy Van, they have a molly, they have HEs, they have flashes, they have all these things. Instead of dropping flashes and saying, hey, can you flash me out, or throwing their own flash, or dumping their mollies and nades, low level players, what they do is they just try to duel. They just try to duel and duel and duel, and then when they die, they drop a molly, an HE, a smoke, and flashes. They don't actually drop that, they only drop one, which would be the Molotov. But you know what I mean, they spent all that money on this util for nothing, right? So let's go ahead and add that up. $400 for a molly, $300 for a nade, $300 for a smoke grenade, and then $200 for a flash. That is $1,200 that they are wasting on utility. And yeah, it doesn't really matter in one round if you're just dying with all that util, but over the course of an entire half or an entire game, you wonder why you can't buy, and you wonder why you're struggling in Counter-Strike with the economy and the money management. It's because of stuff like that. You're just buying for no reason, right? Or same thing with T side, right? CT side, right? When we're on CT side and we're facing against 4 AKs and a knob, there's no point to buy head armor if we're strapped for money, right? Just buy a Kevlar and a M4 and you're good. But I see way too many players just dying with utility, and it's not always that extreme where they drop everything, but I mean sometimes it is, right? Like usually it's not the anchors. Usually people who are like jump spotting understand, like, oh, I need to drop it and use my stuff. Usually it's like the star positions, right? I see a lot of oppers buy utility. They get smoked off here in window, and they just sit here and they try to spam, right? They try to just like sit here and spam. Bro, you use that utility that you got, right? Obviously, they'll have an incendiary. Come through here, learn the lineups. Flash for your teammate underpass with his lurk smoke. Nade open your smoke yourself. Boom, like doing stuff like that, guys. Like, these are things that you can do in order to actually use your utility, but people aren't doing it, and pros will always do it. When they're rotating in CT, when the T's are out on A site, they're dumping their smoke down through here. They're throwing their own flash like this, and then they're getting in here, right? They're using that utility. They're flashing for their teammates constantly. They're flashing over mid. They're flashing over A site. They're doing these things. Why? It's good. It's great team play, but their mentality is we might as well use the utility instead of just wasting it and dying with it. Because you got to remember too, when you die, you drop your most valuable piece of util. So you dropping that molly to the other team or that incendiary could be the difference between them winning the round, because then they get to use it, right? Say, you know, you're a T side and you're pushing through CT. You didn't have a molly, you just had smoke and flashes. You die, now your smoke's on the ground. The CT that just killed you picks up that smoke, throws it on bomb. They're in a 1v1. They defuse the bomb and win. They didn't have that smoke until they killed you, right? Like, these are things that really do actually matter in the game, and a lot of players, they just don't understand that this is going on. They just like, oh, that was unlucky. No, it wasn't unlucky. You set them up for that, right? And it's something that, one of the mindsets I really hate, and something I've had to personally work through in my own game, is being like, oh, that was unlucky. But like, what? That wasn't unlucky. Unlucky's like, you know, like, say Windows smoked off, right? And the guy just literally jumping no scopes through here and like kill somebody top mid. Then I'll be like, okay, you know, that was unlucky, right? Like that was a very low percentage shot for him. But you know, situations like this where you're literally giving the other team the chance to win, that's not unlucky. That is you giving them the way to win. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You learned a little bit of stuff from this. If you're new around here, I post tips and tricks from a professional viewpoint and standpoint. I can give you guys every, you know, piece of advice you need. I am offering individual coaching as well as team coaching and demo review right now, go ahead and check the description on this video for the coaching link. It would help me out so much. Also guys, if you made it this far, check out that knifey link in the description too. You can get yourself some cool CS2 knives, but just plugging myself here at the end of the video. But you guys know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you all later. I'm your biggest supporter. Peace out.